I'm not going to be, oh, and I was surprised again because every time we go live, I'm never ready for it. And then it's
He's never ready for it.
never, and I'm the one pushing the button.
You think he'd know he's pushing a button.
Oh, he pushes a lot of buttons.
There's always that weird little delay where it's spinning and you don't know if you're live or if you're not or what's happening, and then you're live.
That pretty much is all of Doug's life. Hi, everybody. It's 8 o'clock, and we're Storytellers Union. Thanks for joining us. Happy to have you here. I hope everybody is safe and well. So thanks for being here. We've got lots of exciting and fun announcements coming up, and good information for you.
Good information.
Good information.
And hopefully everyone had a good Christmas and New Year's, because we haven't done one of these in 2 months.
It's been 2 months.
It's been 2 months. The last one of these.
He was looking that up earlier.
The last one of these we did was when we did the watch along of our band documentary, which was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 months.
Wow.
Good.
And we've not done any since, because literally, as odd as it is, in the last 2 months, there has been nothing in the world that's happened.
Nothing. It's been a really boring time in our
not a thing to talk
country,
about
in our
for
world,
the last 2 months at all.
But nevertheless, I'll just use my T-shirt as a transition. But nevertheless, here we are with you. So thank you for being here with us. We've got exciting announcements and exciting news. We've got new music coming up. We want to share with you guys, and when that's coming about. So
we promised new music announcement, and
it's a new year.
The documentaries are fun. Hanging out is fun. Keeping up with everybody, friends and family, and people that follow our page, and doing these are fun, creative exercises. But for us, or at least for me, I can't speak for the two of you, but when we actually have like Storytellers Union music, like that's the core of
that's why we're all here.
That's what we're getting most excited about. It's original songs that we got ready to unleash on the world.
That's right. And unleash we shall.
Unleash. That's slightly sinister when we say it like that. We are going to unleash our music upon the world.
We will unleash it upon.
Hey, Doug, they haven't heard it yet. It could be a threat.
It's very threatening. It is. I have heard it.
I have heard it. It is pretty aggressive. Let me say that.
Those people we pay to do music for us.
So what is on tap? What new music wise are we talking tonight? We got several things that we want to roll out.
We do. So we have a new song and a new video. We also have a new album we want to talk to you about.
That's a lot of new.
It's a lot of new in the new year. And so we'll start off by telling you about our new song. Doug, do you know the name of this one?
Oh,
what about pills?
It's about football players taking pills, is it? Come on.
And they're bitter, I think. On a Friday night, because it's football Friday night.
So if you watched our documentary, then you will know that Doug never knows the name of our songs. He thinks that they're all about football.
He didn't listen
all about football.
He didn't watch the documentary. He didn't know we were making fun of the fact he doesn't know the song.
I actually came to the conclusion that I think most of Kevin's songs are, "Hi Cindy, tell Tony I said hi." I'm Uncle Jerry. That I think most of our songs are like Christian rock songs, but they are neither Christian rock songs nor are they high school football songs. But
we do have a new single.
We do have a single coming out.
And Doug was really close. For Doug, that's pretty close. He had one of the words correct.
Actually, two of the words correct.
Just in the wrong word.
Heels that are bitter.
Put them together, Doug. What is the name of the new song?
Did you already say that we sound like Christian rock?
He just paid attention to something that was said.
Kevin puts a lot of spiritual references in his lyrics, and so
I grew up in church,
you have to listen to
our
lyrics. You have to listen to our songs and read our lyrics, or else you might go, yeah. So but that's anybody's band. Can you tell us the name of the song?
Bitter Pill. It's Bitter Pill.
Bitter Pill. Bitter Pill.
Bitter Pill.
Kevin, tell us about Bitter Pill.
Well, we have
Kevin and Doug.
We have, if you've kept up with our channel, and hopefully you have either YouTube or Facebook. Even though we haven't done a live in 2 months. Last month, we did drop a little bit of a preview for you, sort of behind the scenes on the recording of Bitter Pill. So if you want to get a bit of a tease as to what the new song is going to sound like, you can go and check it out. The video is still there. It gives a little bit of an idea.
5-second tease or something.
Yeah, it's the day I recorded it. The day I recorded the vocals to Doug's music, and I documented that a little bit. But Bitter Pill is the new single that is going to be out for our upcoming album, and that new single has a video that is accompanying it, and both of those things can be viewed
right here on Facebook
or YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, Tuesday,
January the 19th at 8 p.m.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to toss to me, and I was like, I have no idea.
Doug never has an idea.
We thought that if we might be safe to toss to him on the name of the song, we thought anything else he's gonna. If I toss to him, he's gonna go, I don't know what are we doing?
Which is really funny.
Did you text me about it? Is it in my notes?
Because I would normally not toss to Doug on the name of the song.
But you did.
But on this one, yeah, it would be, Chocolate Wizard Spaceballs or something. But, which I had for Christmas, and they are delightful.
I look at the album art that Kevin has mocked up already, and I look at the song names, and I'm like, I have no idea what any of these songs are.
Doug's not even sure if he's in the band.
You're not even in the band anymore, Doug. These have nothing to do with you.
We don't know why he keeps showing up for these things, but it's kind of awkward when he pops in and it's like, oh, I'm live. I'm like, oh, it's that guy again.
Okay. Hi, Doug. Yeah.
We're in front of people, and we tell him that we recorded the album.
We just let him keep thinking,
No, Doug's outdone himself as he usually does with the music. I think that Bitter Pill is going to surprise a lot of people. Again, you can get a taste of it in the video that we posted last month. But
and that was a prior transformation, even because our music changes to the last minute sometimes until the last mix. When we go, Doug, you're done. It's done.
I've heard that mixes are never finished; they're just abandoned. So
yeah.
That's how Doug can live with himself by saying something's done.
I understand that, Doug.
Yeah, I've never finished a single mix to a song. I've just stopped and abandoned my mixes.
Moved on. Well,
so we're excited. Tuesday, January 19th. That's next Tuesday. That's just next Tuesday. We're already 19 days into January. So next Tuesday, January 19th, 8 p.m. here on Facebook or on YouTube. Bitter Pill video. One of the is this the second? This is the second video.
This is the second song from our upcoming album that we're also here to talk a little bit about. And honestly, I'm really happy. Before we get to the album, and I know we're going to give a little bit of an album update and drop the name of our new album and that for you. But to Bitter Pill, I think that it's a very different type of song for us, and I think it's a really good. It sets the stage real well because you could not get more 180 degrees than from Bitter Pill to Baggage Never Sorted, which was the first song we released from the album. Wouldn't you all think that that's probably the two biggest?
Well, the interesting thing is conceptually, I mean, there's a theme, but I
just think setting the stage.
I always believe in reading lyrics, and if you read lyrics, then you can see, a theme. But if you're just listening, you'd go, wow, those are two really different songs.
I think if
you put these songs side by side, you'll be like, what is wrong with these people?
Is
this
that's what I really love about these being the first two, because I think if you want to set the stage for our third album, which is what pre-release singles hopefully do, is somewhere between Baggage Never Sorted and Bitter Pill is everything else that's going to be on the album, because that's probably the extreme in either direction. And so it's a good way to set the palette, is that everything else is some mix and some on the spectrum somewhere between Baggage Never Sorted and what you're going to hear with Bitter Pill, which is a little bit different for I almost said World's Edge. Listen to me.
Wow. Again, for those of you who are tuning in and have not watched our documentary, which is available on our Facebook page and our YouTube page. Yeah, where Kevin's reference is to the old high school band that Kevin and Doug were in. And I only did a few backup vocals and that, but that was their previous band. So
which we did not promote
I'm starting
on Facebook
to worry about
because
my
Facebook was not a thing.
memory and
YouTube was not a thing.
Yeah, MySpace was not a thing.
Cassette tapes were a thing. Yeah, cassette tapes and handmade flyers and articles in the local newspaper were the things back then. So no, Storytellers Union. That's
Storytellers Union. That would be our band.
Great. I'm going to be on the outs like Doug is. It's just going to be you now.
It's just going to be me.
I don't pay attention either.
Yeah, and this is going to be a problem.
So Bitter Pill and Baggage Never Sorted are 2 songs off our upcoming album, which is the 3rd album that we've done.
All right, Doug, can you name the first album?
Album number 1. Followed by album number 2.
Yes.
And then the next one. So
I'm going to give Doug a little bit of an out here because, again, for those of you who are tuning in, you have to understand everything that Doug sends to us comes to us with, his concepts, his ideas will come to us named. And 9 times out of 10, they're named something weird and off the wall. Again, Chocolate Wizard Spaceballs or something like that. So by the time we work on things, get things back to Doug, Doug's working things, he's not paying any attention to what we've renamed it or named it
and then he just abandons it, as he mentioned earlier.
So by the time it actually goes to album, Doug's like, oh, was that the song I sent you that was Chocolate Wizard Spaceballs? We're like, yeah, and now it's called Bitter Pill. Or now the album is called, and who could tell us what the 3rd album is called? Maybe Kevin can.
Oh, well, Doug couldn't even get albums 1 and 2, which are already out there and are still available for anyone who wants to go check them out.
And those albums would be?
Album number 1, Doug.
Yes, album number 1 and album number 2.
It's About Time, which had a companion EP called Just a Little More Time. And then our 2nd album, which was Kids on the Same Ride.
Yeah.
So, and all of that material still out there, but obviously we're excited about things that we can talk of that are new. I know we've done album a few of these lives now where we talked about, we're working on a new album. We're working on a new album. We really had hopes that we would, there was a time we thought we might be able to get it in and done in 2020. And, real life.
It's 2020, guys. Come on.
Real life. 2020 sidetracked us. It inspired us. It put us in quarantine. It helped us to work a lot on the album to begin with, and then
if you're
2020
this,
sidetracked us as well.
If you're watching this and you accomplished anything, I don't care what. Well, maybe I care. Keep it clean. But if you accomplished something in 2020, you put it in the comments, okay? Because I want to know what you accomplished. Because accomplishing things in 2020 was difficult. But
I can't put it in our own comments, but right now, since I'm on a live here, but we almost accomplished getting an album done, but we got most of the writing for it done. But we do feel confident now enough that it's a new year. We're in January, and we were so close to getting it done in 2020 that we want to announce that Storytellers Union has a 3rd album coming out in 2021, hopefully in the early part of 2021. And the name of that album is, can I get a drum roll from my fellow storytellers? Everyone out there, tap on your phones, tap on your keyboards. Leave Your Darlings.
Leave Your Darlings.
Leave Your Darlings is the name of Storytellers Union's 3rd album. It's a reference that that lyrically comes from one of the songs that is going to be on this album. But I feel like naming something is.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
Yeah, you did. Yes, you did, Doug. We had a whole conversation about that. We had a text conversation about that.
Did we?
We had either a text conversation or an in-person conversation.
Well, I don't think we had that many in-person conversations in 2020.
Yeah, we did have a conversation about it in some format.
You know that artwork that you had been looking at? It's on there.
It's on there.
Well, I know it's on
that artwork.
Because we're red, white, and blue, and there's the songs and the things, and half of those songs I don't recognize.
So, folks, it's a good thing that Doug tunes into these things or shows up, because this is how he also finds out information.
Yeah.
I learned so much about this band.
Doug, you're in a band called Storytellers Union. Surprise!
And we have an album.
Edge.
You're looking for Alan. He's not
Right.
here. Although it is his birthday. Or was that yesterday? Anyway, happy birthday, Alan. You're not watching, but if you're out there watching. But no, Leave Your Darlings is the name of the third album. I really feel like naming things and getting it out there in the public domain that this is our third album is important for several reasons, because when you name something, it becomes real. It's now a thing. And I know, as I mentioned earlier,
Like babies.
we've had a few of these where we're like, our new album's coming out. We're working on it, it's coming out. But now that we've announced the name, it's kind of like you, Doug, you just got a puppy recently. Once you have a thing in the house that has a name to it, it's pretty real, right?
It is very real. I have all kinds of like little puppy bites on me all over. It is a very real little thing that's asleep upstairs right now.
So yeah,
You should just steal the neighbor's cat.
Did you say kill the neighbor's cat?
No, steal the neighbor's cat.
Don't kill the neighbor's cat.
No, we love the neighbor's cat.
Yes, we do love the neighbor's cat. I actually just kicked the neighbor's cat accidentally, not realizing
she's under the table right now.
But no, you have something that has a name to it. It's now a thing. So in the last, 3 or 4 of these that we've done, we've talked about an album like we hope to have it out soon, and we were talking about it as the third album. But now that we can talk about it with the name Leave Your Darlings, it's now an actual thing, and it makes it just that much closer to coming out, hopefully again here in the first quarter of 2021. Doug, you're really, as the one who's our producer and all, you probably could speak better than even the two of us as to, where in the state of completion do you see the album now? Really, we're close.
I think we are close. I think I'm still waiting on some tracks, and I have to figure out what songs go with what, since I really don't recognize half those titles on that artwork.
Several of them are already done, though, Doug. So
it always makes it difficult, because it's like the song is actually called this, but I have a file of something else, and I have to go through song titles, and I have to go through files to try and match things up. And
folks, we actually keep a Google Doc, shared between the three of us to keep track of the songs and the tracks on the songs. And each of these pages of the Google Doc starts out with song title, and then in parentheses, Doug, this is what you had called, so that he can make that connection real easy as to, oh, that's the song they're talking about. But really, outside of one song that I can think of specifically, all the main vocals and even the backing vocals at this point are tracked. So really, it's just final mixing and sequencing, and really some decisions as to whether or not we're going to have a nice long 14, 15 track album, or a nice lean 9, 10 track album with some songs maybe saved for the next project. So really, it's the polishing right now. We're that close, I think, to being done. There's only one song I can think that needs, that we'd like to get on here that we've not done any of the vocals yet, that requires, maybe some musical restructuring. But that's one of the reasons we feel confident in saying 2021, Leave Your Darlings is coming out, because if for whatever reason it doesn't, then we probably aren't a band. We probably are in different directions right now.
Well, so again, for those of you who are watching, maybe you haven't watched the documentary, which I highly recommend watch the documentary.
Doug, watch it. He even sat here with us and watched it on a live.
A documentary, that thing you were interviewed for. But yeah, so part of the process, obviously, and this is even before COVID and quarantines and things like that. We all have real jobs, and and Doug has a young child and now a puppy. But even before that, it's been kind of our operation to be back and forth. Evan might write lyrics, or I might write lyrics to a song. Doug writes a song musically, sends us the structure of, kind of a, hey, here's, some guitar, some music, and he might send us 5, 6, 7, songs. And because he's always creating and he's always dumping stuff into Dropbox for us to listen to.
Always
And we
number
might
two.
listen, yeah. So we might listen to something and go, oh, you know what? I've been writing something and I hear, I think I could do something with that. And so I might, or Kevin might go down and record some vocals to that, um, throw it back to Doug and say, hey, this is what I've got, or this is what I hear, and we go back and forth. So it's a lot of digital exchange, I guess, in that sense. So, and
That
this
could be the name of
album's
the fourth album now.
digital exchange. Yeah,
Somebody write that down out there.
it's very much a lot of what we do, because just because of the nature of our lives and things like that. So,
I don't know about the two of
but
you.
there's still a lot of collaboration.
I'm leading a wild rock and roll lifestyle. I don't know what real jobs you guys are talking
He's
about.
just strung
Real
out
world.
all day, all night.
All I do is live for the music, man.
It's the 60s, man.
So, Doug, without getting, we're obviously not getting into spoiler territory here in specifics, but, in your mind, the Leave Your Darlings, what do the folks have to look forward to? How do you think it's different in your mind than maybe what they heard on Kids in the Same Ride or It's About Time?
I think it's a lot. There's a lot of rawness to this album. I don't want to say it's edgy or any kind of like cheesy descriptor like that, but it is definitely a much rawer sound for us. And I mean, I think probably the telethon song that we did, help.
Baggage Never Sorted.
Yes, Baggage Never Sorted is probably the most singer-songwriter like that. What I consider more storyteller-esque. With everything else that's on there, because I think it's pretty raw, and it definitely runs the gamut.
You?
Yeah, I agree. The interesting thing about this album is the first two albums have been a compilation of some new stuff mixed with a lot of stuff that we've been working on for years, especially the first album, but even the second album to a certain degree. And this is really the first album of the three where a lot of the stuff is just extremely new, fresh,
Actually, that's
and stuff that we had not been working on for years. So that's kind of exciting to me because it's been, a real exercise in not having honed a song over 20 years or 10 years or whatever, but,
I was going to say that I think that it's probably our most immediate album.
Yeah.
Just because
the reason 20 years to write.
What?
Immediate because it didn't take us 20 years to write.
Well, we do actually still have songs that we've kicked around for a while that we are eager to record at some point and get on an album. But unlike the first two albums, this one really does have. I think I can think of one song right now that is almost a definite for the record that has been in our repertoire for a while. Outside of that, almost everything else musically, everything else is Doug has written relatively recently. And then lyrically, I can think of maybe 2 or 3 songs that might be making the cut that might have some older lyrics, but almost, 80-90% of the album's lyrics were all written in the last year or two, which, again, I think that probably makes it our most current sounding album in the fact that everything was written, musically, there's some threads that are in common because a lot of the songs Doug musically had written around the same time. And then lyrically, I got on a roll at one point where I was, doing 2 or 3 sometimes in a day where things were just coming out. And it was kind of neat and refreshing to just be inspired by, isolation or, you're, alone with your own thoughts or not having the distractions of restaurants, concerts, vacations, trips, all the other things that take so much of our free time. And, we use this to entertain ourselves, and it made it for a very different sounding record and a kind of a cohesive record that kind of came together, I think, as a true album. I mean, it's going to sound very much like an album in my mind. And Leave Your Darlings is the name of it. It's a thing.
So if you want to hear the second single, Bitter Pill, from and see the video for Bitter Pill, that's going to be premiering again on Tuesday, January 19th at 8 p.m. here on Facebook and on YouTube. Now you're able to, if I'm not mistaken, when we go and set that up, Kevin, on our Facebook page, then as a premiere, people will be notified about that. Am I correct?
If you, when it shows up as a premiere, if you mark yourself to get notified as soon as it goes live, you'll receive a notification there on your phone that the video is live, and you can watch along with us on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock.
If you don't watch it that moment live, you're not going to miss it. It's still there on our Facebook. But it'll remind you, hey, when you get done watching whatever you're watching, or
why
you're
would you
doing,
be watching
what would you be
anything else?
watching? Yeah.
You were telling you about it in advance, so you don't, schedule anything else.
But you won't miss it. So
understand.
it'll still be there, and you'll be able to watch it and share it. Make sure that you like our page. Make sure that you share our page. Ask other people to like it, and follow us.
We probably didn't thank people enough, really, for doing so with Baggage Never Sorted. We got really great feedback from you all on that song, what you thought about it, and how you liked it. So if you'd let us know, gave us a like or a share, obviously shares and comments mean more than anything, because that gets it hopefully in front of more people. And that's a favor you're doing for us. But we wanted you to do the same for Bitter Pill. Let us know what you think in the comments. Make sure you let us know what you think of the new song or the new direction or the video itself, which I think is visually kind of interesting. We're a do-it-yourself group here, so we use what we have available to try to come up with some interesting visual ideas to accompany these songs, and we think we've done that with Bitter Pill. So let us know if we're right or wrong, or if we're crazy on this one, because I it's not going out on a limb for me to say this is definitely the hardest rocking song, I think, in the Storytellers Union repertoire. So it's probably about as heavy as we've got.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I don't know, something about the year, obviously the frustration of sort of being trapped in your house, trapped in your head without your distractions to do other things. I think that there is some of that frustration that comes out both in the music and the lyrics on this album, which is understandable, but it was kind of a nice cathartic release. I know a lot of times when we're doing these lives and we're not actually promoting some of the things we have coming up or informing you guys of that, we'll sit on here and just hang out, talk to you guys about music, what we're listening to, and albums we recommend. You probably hear us talk about a lot of albums and influences that you never hear in our music. You're thinking these guys are listening to X, Y, and Z, but I don't hear it in their songs. We listen to a large swath of different types and styles of music beyond just the things that maybe we've done ourselves. And I can say, hands to the air here for those who didn't know me back then when I had the long hair and the teen angst and all that, is I grew up a heavy metal kid, and Doug was, that's when I first met Doug too. He was definitely a kid of heavy metal. So those heavier influences are definitely in our background, and it doesn't always come out, but Doug must have tapped into his inner 14-year-old here or something, because the music he started sending is it's like, man, Doug's back to getting heavy. I was all for it. I was ready to reconnect with my inner child too. Last year, I mean, my goodness.
That one actually came back with hey, I've got something for this.
It was almost a dare. Once I heard that one, I thought, okay, this is one of those exercises that Doug does just to do, and he thinks that there's no way in the world I will write something to this. So I was determined I'm going to write something to this.
I think now the gauntlet's been thrown down. You've got a challenge here from Ed. You got to throw in right or wrong or crazy, and I agree. I think that's a phrase you just used. It sounds like
right or wrong
throw
or
that
crazy.
in there.
That could also, scratch what we said earlier about digital exchange.
Right or wrong or crazy.
Right or wrong or crazy would actually be an excellent album title.
That actually describes the three of us to a T, and I'm not going to necessarily say which one of us are right or wrong or crazy, but I think we all know.
I believe we do.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Ed. And thank you, Gail, for tuning in too. I see that you're watching. So, and thanks everybody for watching and supporting our music. Hopefully you will continue to do so through our new song coming out on Tuesday, January
19th at 8 p.m. right here on YouTube.
Doug, quiz. Make sure you're paying attention earlier. What's the name of that song?
Bitter Pill.
Bitter Pill. Like we had to get it out. Had to get it out before we forgot it.
All right. We'll keep him.
And the name of that new album coming out, TBD, soon.
Oh, he won't know that. It's too new.
It's really colorful. Darlings.
He just
Leave-
learned about it tonight. He
Leave
can't
your
be
darlings.
expected to remember.
Darling.
No, it's been on like artwork he's seen for a while, but
And that's the good thing
leave your
too
darlings.
about getting the name out and having it a thing. It allows us to do so much more as we prepare for the build up for you guys. Hopefully, some anticipation. We will start a playlist on both our YouTube and our Facebook, where we'll put Baggage and Bitter Pill and any more pre-release singles that we have for the album. Right now, if you haven't been to our page in a while, either of our channels, we got them pretty well organized so that you can more easily find the things you're looking for. We have all of the music videos separated now by albums. We have all of our documentary stuff separated, all the behind the scenes stuff. So it's much easier to go back and find older content. But yeah, we'll have a Leave Your Darlings playlist, and Baggage Never Sorted will be in it, and Bitter Pill will join it. And we'll get a tease out here as we, get ready for this album. Things like album art and track listing once we get the track listing finalized, and hopefully another single or two, because there's a couple of video ideas that we were both kind of kicking around.
I think that, as we've been talking about this album, I mean, we did say that it's something that's been very, well, we're losing Doug.
Doug just left the band.
Doug has a new puppy and he has a child. So I'm taking it there's probably one of those two things.
Or maybe even both at the same time.
Never know. But yeah, I would say that I'm very excited about the new album because it's a lot of it really is a lot of fresh kind of material that we've been working on over this last year. And what's fun, one fun thing, is that Kevin might take a piece of Doug's music, go down, start recording, and and say, hey, come here and listen to this. And it's the first time I've heard the song, and just very much like any of us that are listening to a new song, that somebody plays for you, you're kind of listening with a variety of different things in mind, in terms of liking the song, maybe hearing this or that in the song. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun to hear somebody play a song for you for the first time. And then, of course, the beauty of saying, okay, what do you hear? What do you hear contributing? Or I would like to hear your vocals do this or your vocals do that. And there's so much on this song. Kevin's doing some stuff on this song that I've never heard him do before vocally. I think that I'm doing some stuff on here that I don't typically do vocally. And it's just, I think it's going to be a really fun album for that because of the...
We got out of our comfort zone a little bit on several songs.
But again, I'm going to go back to you guys because you guys have continued to cheer us on, push us, and really be that inspiration that says, listen, we like your stuff. We're enjoying it. We're sharing it with our friends. And that motivates us to say, all right, we want to continue to create. We want to continue to put this out. Again, we're all, the three of us are folks with regular jobs, and but we have created this world we've been in for the last 30 years for ourselves or whatever. And it's a fun world, and it's fun to share it with you. So we really hope that you'll tune in Tuesday, listen to Bitter Pill, then tune over, flip over and listen to Baggage Never Sorted, compare the two and see the differences. And you'll really kind of get the spectrum of what this album is about.
That is the spectrum, because all the other songs are going to slot somewhere between those two because they are completely...
Doug has a puppy.
Oh, so Doug,
a very hairy child.
When we said go tell your neighbors that we have new music coming out, we didn't mean right now.
Oh, I misunderstood. My bad.
Doug has a puppy. Everybody loves puppies.
That's a good idea, Doug. If you get the puppy on camera.
Yeah, Doug, show us your puppies on camera.
Oh, look at those eyes.
Look at that baby.
Look at those
eyes. Look at that.
All right.
Like he doesn't even look real.
Sammy, welcome to the World of Storytellers Union.
Yeah.
And Sammy is already Doug. That is a bigger version of the dog than the last time I saw him.
Yeah, he's going to be a big boy.
He's getting big already.
Doug, what kind of dog is he?
He is. Mom is a husky Australian Shepherd mix, and we're not sure about Dad.
No, we're never sure about that. None of us ever.
Yeah, Ed. His name is Sammy. Doug's son named Sammy. Doug, where did he get the name from? I know he had been.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd go for like Grogu or something like that, but he wanted to name him Sammy. So
I mean, he's had that name for a lot longer than you've had the dog. He knew what he wanted his first dog to be called.
yeah, Santa was going to bring him a doggy named Sammy, and Santa did.
That Santa didn't know what he was doing, did he?
Well,
Darn that Santa.
You know, there is interestingly, we'll have to talk about this later in another show. A great Doug's son Liam reference in Bitter Pill.
Oh, that's true.
So,
That's true. We'll have to let the song come out, and
Yeah.
obviously, as I mentioned, as we now go through the process of getting the album together and telling you all more about it as the details firm up, we'll be doing more of these live. So once you have a chance to
hear Bitter Pill,
yeah.
then we'll have to tell some of the story because, because it's a great story. Liam's a storyteller in and of itself. So. Oh yes, he definitely is. He's the most creative, I think. Definitely the most imaginative of any of us. Definitely the most imaginative. Yeah, he definitely inspired quite a bit of the lyrics in this song. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for tuning in and hanging with us. And if you're just coming in midpoint, and because you saw our nice little graphic about the fact that we had new music announced. New music,
as
new
it turned
video,
out,
new album.
Yeah, before we recap and everything, in case you didn't see, because I posted it earlier, and we did not plan it this way, but and this will be a surprise to Doug and probably you, because you probably haven't been on Facebook either. But today is actually the 5-year anniversary of the very first music video we ever did.
Wow.
So when we did our first album, the second song we put out in the public domain for people to hear was a song called Close the Window.
Yeah.
And we did a very simple lyric video for it, and it premiered 5 years ago today.
So I have to throw that up on our Storytellers page.
It's on there.
Okay, so go to Storytellers and check that. Of course it is.
I
love my little marketing man.
I reposted it today. I thought, well, that is just serendipity, is that, on the day we had put out our first video, we are going to announce our new music video. And both visually and sonically, Bitter Pill is, again, 180 degrees from Close the Window.
Close the Window, yeah.
Thank you for the congrats.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's been that long, but 5 years at this point is
We've
2
been
albums.
We've been for 5 years.
Yeah, it feels right. But I guess it's good for creativity, because we got more new music than we've really ever had. Because like Jared said, the first couple of albums in EP was a sort of a backlog of material over the decades at that point. And this is almost completely things that has been written and recorded in the last 12 months. So we're eager to tell you more about Leave Your Darlings. But first things first, second single, Bitter Pill.
Bitter Pill.
Video.
This coming Tuesday, January 19th. At 8 p.m. Here on Facebook or on YouTube, 8 p.m. That'll be streaming live, and you can when that you'll see that come up on be watching for that on our Storytellers page, and when you see that on our Storytellers page, make sure that you hit to get a notification about it. You'll get a notification about it Tuesday night, and you can tune in, and everybody's got 5 minutes to watch a rockin' video and join us in this celebration of our second song.
Let us know what you think about it.
From the album to be released soon.
Leave Your Darlings. 2021. It's already off to a much better start.
Well,
we are making it so. New music, guys. New music.
We're doing our part.
That's right. Best we can. So thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys for tuning in, keeping us going, and and spurring us on and rooting us on. And
keep following here, and we'll keep you updated on Leave Your Darlings, everything coming up with this third album.
That's right. Let us know what you've accomplished in 2020. And let us know what you think about Bitter Pill Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Everybody. Good night.
Good night.